To explain this boot processing, I just give an idea of this basic desktop, but boot processing is it's the same for your laptop and desktop also, even for a mobile phones also. Okay, tablets. These are all having a boot process. But we are in a computer side, so it's a computer boot processing. Computer means either it is your desktop or laptop or it is a server. So same kind of stuff on. Okay. So this is my cabinet. In the cabinet, we have a SMPS. Okay. And we have a motherboard in the cabinet. On the motherboard, we have a processor, RAM, SMPS power connectivity, and then SATA hard disk connector or a PATA hard disk connector, front panel connectors, your BIOS chip, and of course, your CMOS battery and north bridge, south bridge, other chipsets like your audio chip is there, network NIC card related chipsets are there, video related chipsets are there. Okay, some other power supply connectivity and CPU separate 4-pin or 6-pin or 8-pin connector. Okay, there is a other connectivities also there. And in the back panel, so we have a connections to monitor. Okay. So monitor is connecting here with the VGA port. Keyboard is connecting to USB or a PS/2 connector. And there is a mouse. Mouse is also connecting. So this. Okay. From SMPS, this is 24-pin SMPS connector, ATX power connector. From SMPS to this power supply. And you have a hard disk and CD-ROM in case you have a CD-ROM. Now currently a lot of desktops, even desktops, of course laptops are removed with this CD-ROM because the very less use of the CD DVD ROMs are there. Power supply will distribute it. So power supply is connected to your main motherboard 24-pin connector and motherboard 4-pin or 8-pin or 6-pin connector is there. Separate connector, and for hard disk and CD-ROM also power connector is there. For a hard disk and CD-ROM, you have a SATA connector is also there, data connector from motherboard. And there is a front panel connector. So in this front panel connector, you will get a power button. Okay, power button and a reset button and a power LED and a hard disk LED. LED status is also there, and of course USB port, and we will get a audio connectivity for front panel connector. Of course, we have a main AC power supply. Even for a laptop, there is a charger connector is there now. The charger is nothing but SMPS charger only. Okay. For monitor power connection and SMPS power connection. SMPS. Okay. Okay with diagram, guys? This one only I have written. Okay. So how you start a computer first? First you press the power button. Press the power button. Of course, if it is a desktop, also only power source is main power source. So main power supply is already connected to your SMPS, but SMPS won't start automatically. When you press the power button, that SMPS will start first. Okay, SMPS will start. So I will take some other colors for sequence, like first SMPS starts. Once SMPS started, then it will give a power supply to your motherboard and other components like CD-RAM, hard disk. Okay, to this your motherboard, you will get a power supply. And power, when SMPS on, first system check for power good signal. Power good signal from the SMPS, it is make sure that SMPS giving correct power supply. Okay, so forget about it. So SMPS to motherboard power supply is starts. SMPS on, so it start giving power supply to your motherboard and your hard disk CD-RAM kind of stuff. From motherboard, CPU, your RAM, your other chipsets, your BIOS, everything will get a power supply, including keyboard and mouse will get a power supply from your SMPS only. Okay. So power is distributed and system is testing now is, so main primary components are working or not. For example, you didn't connect a hard disk or CD-RAM, not a big deal. What are the primary components? CPU, RAM, BIOS, and other components on the motherboard components, means enhanced on the motherboard components are primary components. To make sure these components are working or not. And next, other components are working or not. And next, your BIOS will recognize each and every device which is connected either on the motherboard or to the motherboard. It will try to recognize the devices. Of course, it makes sure that your primary component like CPU, RAM, everything is working fine. Okay. This total process, we call it as a post. What is post? Power on self-test. You press the power button, means power is on, right? So you press the power button, then means power is on. System test itself to make sure that all the primary components on motherboard, it is working or not. For example, keyboard is not working, mouse is not working, hard disk is not working, monitor is not working. It does not matter. So to pass in the post, the primary components on a motherboard means motherboard, CPU, RAM, and your BIOS shape, everything should be work. This is called a post, guys. This post is the first step in your boot processing. Then post is successful, it will go to the next step. Guys, understand anything? Can I repeat?
Yes, sir. Can you please once repeat?
Simple point is to know what is exactly a boot processing. Boot processing, when you power on your system, okay, so you press the power button, either it is laptop or desktop, you press the power button, you wait for a 1 minute or 2 minutes or maybe a 5 minutes. You log into your system, then after 1 or 2 minutes, you can start using your system, right? So when you press the power button and after some time we can able to use the system. So that step-by-step process happens at your system. Step-by-step process happens in your system. From your press power button to user can able to use a system. That called a boot process. Step-by-step process. We don't do anything. We press the power button, wait, and then finally we can able to use our system. We can open application, we can use our system. Okay, but in system, inside your system, there is a process is happens. The step-by-step process, we call it as a boot process. The first step is post power on self-test. When you press the power button, when you press the power button, the system, so when you press the power button, SMPS starts and give a power supply to our system components. To motherboard, hard disk, CD-RAM, keyboard, mouse, will get a power supply. Okay, and system test itself to make sure all primary components working or not, like CPU, RAM, and motherboard components working or not. If it is successful, test is successful, we'll go to the next step. Test is failure. The test is post failure. Then it will go to troubleshooting part. So you have to troubleshoot that time. Okay. So what is the post? Power on self-test. System test itself to make sure all primary components working or not. That's the only post, guys. Okay, this is the first step in the boot processing. Okay. And of course, earlier I had two more points. So then simple, you press the power button, SMPS start, SMPS give a power supply to your motherboard. Okay, power is distributed to all components, on motherboard components and other components also. You get a power supply. Okay, so your BIOS will recognize the devices, those are connected on motherboard or to the motherboard. So the BIOS will recognize the devices. Okay, and it is important to note, important is to test to make sure that the primary components like your CPU, your RAM, and your motherboard components working fine or not. These are the primary components. Make sure it is working. If everything is working fine, then just go to the next step. Okay, that is a power on self-test. Post is successful, we'll go to the next step. Post failure, we'll go for a boot failure. So you have to do troubleshooting. BIOS is also an important part in the post operation. Next step, guys. So earlier I explained the BIOS will give you a boot priority. In the BIOS, you have a boot priority like this. Okay, there is a boot priority in the BIOS. If you see, it's one example for a boot priority. The boot priorities can be changeable. Okay, what is the boot priority here? That is showing a CD-ROM first. Okay, as per that CD-ROM, boot priority CD-ROM. So your BIOS is now telling, so where to find an operating system, from where to you have which device, you have to find an operating system. You have to search. So first is a CD-ROM. Is any CD-ROM is inserted with a portable drive? I mean portable CD or DVD is inserted. Yes. Then load the operating system from CD-ROM. No means check for a next device. For example, next device is a removable device, means pen drive. Okay, removable device, generally it is a pen drive. Again, so BIOS is telling, so if it is not there in CD-ROM, try to find in an operating system from any removable device is connected. So I have a pen drive with an operating system, bootable pen drive. Pen drive with an operating system called a bootable pen drive. Okay, simple to say. But originally bootable pen drive means you can boot your system, means you can load operating system with that pen drive. Okay, you inserted a pen drive with an operating system in it. So then you want to load operating system from pen drive, then it is, of course, it will check in a second option. So is my pen drive having an operating system? It will find and load the operating system from pen drive automatically. If it is not there, then go for next one. Check in a hard disk. Check from the hard disk. is my hard disk contains an operating system. Hard disk is there, is a hard disk contain operating system, then load operating system from the load operating system from the hard disk. Then if it is not there, it is a fresh system, hard disk does not contains operating system or operating system is corrupted. Then it will try to find operating system from next priorities. For example, network boot. Okay. So we can load operating system from network. Okay, we can install operating system through network using WDS services and other kind of services also there. In Windows, we are using WDS services. We can install operating system through network. So it will search is any operating system provider is there through network. A WDS server is there in the network. It will search for an operating system through network. Okay. If it is fine, it will load it. Otherwise, no. Of course, if it is, does not find operating system from any of the devices, it throw the error message. Operating system does not find. Again, guys, the boot priority can be changeable. As I said, boot priority can be changed. Before changing a boot priority, again, I'm telling this priority. I connected a pen drive with an operating system. Okay, I want to install operating system. I have a bootable pen drive. I inserted a bootable pen drive, for example. I power on my system. So post is successful. Next one is as per boot priorities like this. It will try to search operating system from CD-RAM. It is not there. Then it try to search operating system from removable devices. It is there. Then means it will load operating system from here. So it won't check in the remaining devices. It won't search for remaining devices. It load operating system from first this device when it is fine. Guys, understand this part?
Yes.
Very good. For example, I change my boot priority. My hard disk having an operating system and I put this priority. What happened when you press the power button? Post, power on self-test, then power on self-test successful. Try to locate operating system from hard disk. It is there, it loads. It won't check remaining things. For example, hard disk does not have an operating system, then it will go for another devices. Okay. So this boot priority by default it is something is there, but it can be able to change. Okay. For first time, so it can be a CD-RAM. Next time onwards, it is a hard disk is your top priority. So why we should search in any other devices? So from hard disk, generally, we have an operating system. Okay. Here in this example, guys, I'm taking hard disk as our operating system drive. So we have an operating system in our hard disk. Okay. In a hard disk, you have a MBR or a ZPT records are there. If it is MBR type of disk, MBR type of hard disk, it is MBR record. And if it is a GPT type, means GPT record is there. Whatsoever it is, in this record, it contains about a partition information, bootloader location information, and operating system. Basically, operating system location also there. Guys, we are using Windows operating system. Our entire operating system, including bootloader and operating system and applications, stored in a C drive only. Stored in a C drive only. So this is a office laptop now, so we don't have much permissions to do certain things. Okay. This is my bootloader. Bootmgr is my bootloader, is also in my C drive, and my Windows folder. In Windows folder system 32, Windows folder, and in Windows folder there is a system 32 folder. These are all operating system drives only. Program files x86. These are all belongs to applications. You install an application, application stores in this program files only. Users, users are having a user data. You download a file, it go to downloads, right? It is in the downloads. You create a document and you want to save the document. Document location is this document. Okay, document. So it is under user, your username, and your documents, downloads, pictures, videos, okay, saved games. All these things are in this C drive only. Okay, in this place only. Okay, so user profile data. Okay, and this is application data, operating system data, and this is your bootloader. Everything in C drive only in our Windows operating system. Those are in a hidden mode, so that's why they remove it. Okay. Okay, so here it is in my bootmgr file, or sorry, MBR record or GPT record will tell you in second one is first find out bootable files from the boot media. So CD-ROM, DVD, which one it is. Once you find, go through that MBR record or GPT record, ask, where is my bootloader file? Where is my bootloader file? Search for a bootloader file with the help of this records. Okay. These bootloader files are different from one operating system to another type of operating system. In olden days, we are using Windows XP, Windows 2000, 2000 Professional, 2000 Server, 2003 Server, Windows 98, 97 time. NTLDR is a bootloader. NTLDR is a bootloader. From Windows
Hello, sir.
Vista 7 onwards. Yeah, tell me.
Why did you underline the boot priority, sir? It have a specific meaning.
This one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sir. Yeah.
You have to, based on the boot priority, you have to search your record based on boot priority. First, BIOS having boot priority, you have to search for your operating system files or MBR files based on the boot priority.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So in generally, it's I kept in mind with hard disk. Generally, in hard disk, we talk about boot MGR. Sorry. Sorry. In a hard disk, we discussed about MBR and GPT. So what about a bootable CD-ROM? In bootable CD-ROM also, in the first drive, it contains information about a bootable files. Even every media, whether it is a pen drive or it is a CD-ROM or it can be external hard disk, in the first only, it contains information about their drive, the location, indexing of data, or if it is a bootable drive, then where is the bootloader, where is other bootable files location, it will be there. Okay. So whenever you power on your system, post is successful. Based on the boot priority, you have to locate your operating system drive. Okay. Generally, every day you use hard disk. Okay. That's the point. Okay. Point is, again, guys, first, once you find this record find out where is the bootloader. You take a Windows Vista 7, Windows 8, now Windows 10, Windows 11. The boot priority is, bootloader name is Bootmgr. Bootloader name is Bootmgr. Understand? So if it is XP, NTLDR. If it is a Windows 10, Bootmgr. If it is a Linux, GRUB. Current version of GRUB is GRUB2. LILO, some Linux operating system use LILO bootloader. Okay. So what is this bootloader? Bootloader will tell us where is your operating system, how to load operating system. Yeah, why should we tell how to load operating system? Yes, operating system also in different modes. Windows having two modes. One is what we are using, that is a normal mode, full mode. Normal mode or a full mode we are using. Another mode is safe mode. Another mode is safe mode. In Linux, there is a four modes are there. Single user mode, multi-user mode without networking, without NFS. Okay. So third one is multi-user mode without graphical kind of stuff. Not fourth one don't have any mode. Fifth mode is in a Linux. It is a GUI mode. It is full mode with the GUI. Multi-user mode and graphical screen is there. At least one graphical screen is there, and networking is also there. Okay, which mode of your operating system you have to run? So even in Linux we can edit it. So in Windows we cannot change that many modes. We have two modes. Normally, normal mode or full mode we are using. Complete full system we are using. Okay. In safe mode, most of the services, applications, okay, drivers won't work in a safe mode. So which mode of your operating system has to be loaded. So that's why based on the bootloader, so bootloader load into your RAM and it will tell how to load operating system and where is this operating system location. Sometimes it is in same drive, sometimes in other drive or other drives. Okay. You know, dual boot operating system. A dual boot operating system. It means one system having two operating system. For example, one is Windows 7, another is Windows 10. So when you press the power button and once post is successful, so first bootloader loads of a first one, Windows 7 bootloader loads. It will tell you, the bootloader will tell you which one you want to boot, which operating system you want to load. It will give you 30 seconds time to choose between Windows 7 or Windows 10. Or, some people install Ubuntu and Windows 10. So already Windows 10 is there, they install a Ubuntu. This is not preferable, but people are doing, some people. So bootloader will tell you, so I have two type of operating system here. So which one you will choose? You choose Windows 10, Windows 10 loads. Okay. If you choose Ubuntu, Ubuntu loads. Or which one is default, that one loads. Okay. So I like this guys. Bootloader loads into RAM, tells where is the operating system, which drive, C drive or D drive, which drive operating system is located, where is operating system, how to load operating system. Now operating
Sir,
system
it is safe.
You can.
It is safe or not, sir? Means if we use in a single PC two different OS.
Not required nowadays. Olden days,
Okay.
we don't have a virtualization concept. So what the people doing? So one drive, like a C drive, they given for a XP and D drive for a Windows 7 or a Linux, like that. They use that kind of stuff because that time virtualization is not much. So instead of using two systems, they use dual booting. Now we have virtualization. We can use VMware Workstation application or Oracle VirtualBox application. So you can create virtual machines. Okay, that's the point.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Good. Example, I do this DevOps kind of stuff sometimes when I do try to install some application, new kind of applications. I don't try on my PC. I'll try on the virtual machine. So I'll create one virtual machine, install Windows 10 it, and try that application. Or I create one virtual machine, I install a Linux CentOS operating system. Okay, and then I will try that application in it. Okay, so why should we try on our one physical PC then? Okay, that's the point. So bootloader loads into your RAM, tells where is OS and how to load operating system. Next, OS is loaded, right? So bootloader is telling how to load operating system, OS is loaded. Then finally what we got, login screen. So you got username and you have to give the password. So you given a password, you log in with your user account. In your system, there is a startup applications and startup services are there. These will start automatically. There's a built-in services and startups are there. Startup applications and the startup services will load automatically. So once it is done, you can start using your system. Okay, guys, these are the main things about a boot processing. First one is, what is a boot processing? It's a step-by-step process from start means when the power on the system to the user can able to use system. A step-by-step process happens in your system. Okay, so first step is post power on self-test. Next step is based on the boot priority, find out a boot record, means MBR record, and find out where is the bootloader. And bootloader will tell you automatically how to load operating system and where is your operating system. OS is loaded, and once OS is loaded, you got a login screen. Once you log into your system, the startup services and applications will start. Okay, so that's the main point here in this boot process. Okay, so next one is troubleshooting issues at boot processing. So I will stop here. So then after 5 minutes, again, I will start how to use troubleshooting points in the boot process.